What's going on, ballers? It's Jack here, back for another edition of Talking Ball, discussing Marvin Bagley III, the phenom from Arizona, playing his freshman year at Duke. And, he committed early. He was supposed to be a 2018 guy, came a year early. And obviously, that has not slowed him down one bit, with averages of 21 points, 11 rebounds through the first 23 games of the season. And he's done that while shooting 60% from the field. Even his three-point shot has come around. He's shooting around 35% at this point in the season. So Marvin Bagley really has shown to be a promising scorer and a guy who can take over a game. And this is with a lineup of 4 other future NBA players surrounding him. So while he is the primary guy, he doesn't get necessarily the same amount of shots as other, top 3 type picks you've seen at Duke in years past, a la Brandon Ingram or Jabari Parker or Jason Tatum. Now, Marvin Bagley, what makes Marvin Bagley special? Well, for one, it's his motor. I think, it's very rare you see a guy with this much promise, this much claim already in his young career come in and, play with that motor on every play. He's constantly going. His ability to get offensive rebounds is just special. He has that Fareed type mentality where every time the ball goes up, it's his. If it goes off the glass, it's going to be his rebound. He's going to get the basket. And that's how he gets 6 to 8 points a game, it seems. And in almost every game, he'll miss his own shot and get his own rebound and put it back in at least once. And so he has an innate ability to just find the basketball around the rim. Now, he also has tremendous touch, especially with that dominant left hand. He's able to really, if he's able to get across the lane, get a nice baby lefty jump hook, it's going to go in 8 times out of 10. Also, he has this really nice move where he's able to get around the basket, go up and underneath, and flick it in with his left hand. He's got great touch in terms of just, dropping the ball in different angles around the basket. And, he's a tremendous athlete, right? This is a guy who at 6'11", at times brings the ball up the court. Not only that, but he'll just take it end to end and score himself. And so, he's fast, he's quick, he's explosive, especially that second jump. As I mentioned before, he gets his own offensive rebound. He's oftentimes the first guy back up off the floor. He's got tremendous hands as well around the basket. If there's a tough pass, he usually catches it and he's able to score. And that goes as well along with his handle. For a guy his size, his handle's pretty good. Now, I'm not saying he's taking anyone consistently off the bounce, nor will he be able to take, those wings who he could potentially be going against at the next level at the 4 position, those oversized wings off the bounce consistently, but it is an option that he will have and something that I expect he will get better at as he continues in his career. And also, he's a good passer, not a great passer, but when he sees the floor, he's able to make the right play. He has a good connection with the other big man, Wendell Carter, who I'll do a video breakdown on. But he sees the floor well, and that's important to notice about Bagley, because if you just look at the statistics, 1.5 assists, it's not overwhelming, but he does see the floor well. Now, on the flip side, on defense, you really look at Marvin Bagley, I see him as a 4. So he's going to spend some time matched up against some, undersized wings at times. Sometimes guys who are 6'6", sometimes they'll be 6'9", but usually he'll have the height advantage. And he's got good foot quickness. There you go, Jack. And, I think he'll struggle initially. There are times when he has lapses on that end of the court, where he lets the guy slip in behind him. But it's been improving as the years gone on. They've also played more zone, so it's been tough to tell in terms of man-to-man how he'll fare as much on the perimeter. But he does have that good foot quickness and ability to really stay in front of the offensive player. But at times you see him slip up. So, he's a tremendous scorer and a tremendous rebounder as well. 12 rebounds a game, or close to it. 11 rebounds a game, as I said earlier. And tremendous on the offensive glass, but there are some shortcomings that Marvin Bagley has, and part of the reason why I don't project him as the #1 pick. While that three-point shot has been improving, it's definitely not a strength of his, and shooting as a whole is a bit concerning because at the free throw line, he's only shooting 62%. And that's not horrible, and that you can definitely see there are games, for example, you know, the game against North Carolina State where he was 9 for 11 from the free throw line. There was the game earlier in the season against Florida where he was 9 for 10. So he has shown the ability to do it. He just hasn't been able to do it consistently. But again, the fact that he's shown the ability says to me there's a chance he turns into a low 70% free throw shooter. If he gets there, that's going to be great because it's going to just give him even more value on the court and an ability to convert more often at the free throw line, giving him maybe 1 to 2 points per game more than he's currently missing out on. Now, in addition to that, you know, offensively at times he can get a little tunnel vision. I think he gets a little trapped on getting to the basket at times, and therefore he'll settle for a bad shot. And you know, it's not the worst, but you do see it. You know, there's the recent game against Virginia. They have a heck of an athlete on that team, and he really gave him a lot of difficulty, you know, with his 6'8 frame, 220, and it gave him Bagley some difficulty. Although, again, in that game, even in a game where I thought he had some trouble, you know, he still finished with 30 points, and I'm really nitpicking there because that's the thing about Marvin Bagley. He's a tremendous scorer. He's taken the 30-point record by freshmen at Duke, and overwhelmingly, he's already had 5 of those occasions this season, and no one else had more than 1. And the double-doubles record as well. And, you know, that's with recent one-and-done guys like, as I mentioned earlier in this video. And so, you know, to wrap this up here, I think, you know, yes, there are some concerns with his lack of length. His wingspan's about the same as his height, as well as strength, but I think that will improve as well. The only thing about Bagley is he's not going to be a guy who, you know, he's best off if you have somebody who can set him up at times, because, you know, like an Anthony Davis, while he can score really well on his own, he scores very efficiently if someone else is also able to set him up. And so therefore, you're going to need a playmaker to play with him, but he's fully capable of putting up these same numbers in the NBA at some point. Now, you know, the pick that everyone seems to love is him going to the Grizzlies and becoming a new age Zach Randolph, playing next to Marc Gasol and Mike Conley, and I think that would be tremendous if the Grizzlies were able to pull that off. He's just going to have a great career in the NBA, and he's just a tireless worker. His floor in terms of the top guys, I think, is the highest. He may not quite have the ceiling as an Aiden or even a Trae Young, but I think his floor is just as higher than anyone else's. So Marvin Bagley is the surefire top 3 pick in my estimation, and a guy you must watch in anticipation of the NBA draft. All right, so let me know what you guys think of this video. As always, what other prospects do you want to see? We are doing a Draft Man Standing live show every Tuesday at 6:30. So if you want to tune into that show, you can have any of your NBA or NFL draft questions there by John and myself. And with that, I'm out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.